Another podcast, I just listened to yours, I really loved, was about the digital break. That and when it was your birthday, right? Your 50th birthday celebration, you took a digital break and you recommended a book. What was it called again? I forget.
Called How to Calm Your Mind by Chris Bailey.
Okay, I need to read that
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
point because after I wrote my book, my publisher's like, you got to put yourself out there, go on social media, and it get it uncomfortable. But it takes so much time. And I realized it took away some of the time for what's really more important as far as, uh, the breath work, me really, the working family, all this stuff. But I thought, oh, I need to put in that time. So now I've realized that, I'm my time is more worth doing, my purpose is right now, with the aligning people to their soul purpose and decluttering. I've been really felt called to talk a lot about the oral biome and gut biome relation to chronic illness. As a dental hygienist, I'd see the long list of medications people are on and seeing the symptoms and how getting to the root cause is really important. Actually, I'm going to be working with biological dentists here in Arizona and really diving into getting more to the root cause. But also, I like taking breaks from social media too, because those were the dopamine hits, right? And you talked about that in your last podcast. And I was like, oh, I've been feeling that a lot to just remove myself. Like when I went to Maui, I took my kids and I felt it was our 3-year anniversary since we lost Scott. And I felt called to do an ash ceremony back to where he passed in Maui. And then I completely felt like detaching myself. Okay, turn off my phone. Sometimes I'd leave my phone in a hotel room, turn it off airplane mode, and how good I felt. How good to be just solely present with my family, my children. They need me. They still, very much co-regulate with me. They're still grieving. They're still going through a lot. They're doing well, but still it's an ongoing thing and with grief. Now, so I've realized I need to, take breaks. So I love that you touched base on that as much as this is how we reach so many. I mean, without me, this platform, I would have never met you. I would have never met Dr. DeLuke. Dr. Delphine, I wouldn't have made these connections, but it's finding again that balance, right? And I think life is all about balance, finding balance.
Yeah, yeah. So this was hit me really powerfully because I had decided to do the detox on vacation. I knew I had 10 days and I actually picked up the book in the airport. It was just sort of like an intuitive, I just had this sense that I would find the right book. And it was exactly what I needed because it really described how, in this age of digital interaction and the dopamine that we're getting, the hits from, seeing a text message or seeing that you have a new follower or, getting an email or, how many times, sometimes I check my email like 10 times in an hour. Why? Why am I doing that? I'm seeking the dopamine hit. And so, but what I learned, which was really powerful, is our brains have a dopaminergic system, but they also have a here and now system. So the dopaminergic is function by dopamine. In the moment, it feels really good. You come home from a busy day at your clinic, you're already had a stressful day and you just want to relax. So you get on your phone and in the moment, the scrolling and the dopamine makes you feel good. But collectively over time, it's actually a source of chronic stress. So instead of relaxing, you're actually pouring on more stress, which is pushing you further and further toward burnout. And the worst part, Melissa, is as you feed that dopamine system, it actually suppresses the here and now system. This system is serotonin, oxytocin. This is your natural calm. So you're feeding the dopamine, suppressing your calm, and we wonder why we're all so agitated and stressed out all the time. So in the process of, like you said, putting the phone away, literally out of sight, out of mind, now all of a sudden, as the dopamine hits come down, the serotonin and the oxytocin start to rise back up. And I've been able to, not as successfully as a total detox, but I've been able to be more balanced, as you said, and I have a greater sense of my own natural calm. So I highly recommend, especially on those really busy clinical days where you're stressed out, come home and put your phone away.